Have you ever had someone on your team who is just an absolute star performer? You know, they hit every deadline, their work is top-notch, but you just get this feeling that something's not quite right. Well, that's a common puzzle in the workplace, and it's something we're calling the performance paradox. And as we're about to see, what's really going on behind that high performance can have a huge impact on your business.
Just take a second and think about your team right now. Is there anyone that comes to mind? Someone who always delivers but maybe seems a little distant? Or maybe it's just a gut feeling you have that there's more going on under the surface. If a face popped into your head, well, you are definitely not alone. This is way more common than you think.
This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? This is the paradox, right there in black and white. At the office, you see someone who is competent, professional, on top of their game. But what you don't see is what happens after they log off. The moment they get home, this wave of exhaustion just hits them. So what on earth is going on here?
Okay, to figure this out, we have to look at something that's, well, pretty much invisible to most of us. It's an invisible energy cost. Think of it like a hidden tax some of your employees are paying every single day, just to show up and navigate the workplace behind a mask of what we might call normal.
This slide just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, that's the employee you see every day, right? Capable, professional, getting things done. But on the right, that's the hidden reality. The source material uses this fantastic metaphor of a drained battery, where literally every last drop of energy is used up just to get through the workday.
And what you've got to understand is this isn't just a bad day here or there. It's not a tough week. For these employees, it's a relentless, daily cycle. They put on the mask to perform, and then they completely collapse from the effort, only to have to wake up and do the exact same thing all over again the next morning.
And that brings us to the key that unlocks this whole mystery. It's a concept that might be new for a lot of you in leadership, but it is absolutely critical to understand what's happening here. It's a phenomenon called ASD camouflage. So let's break down exactly what that means. To put it simply, camouflaging is the constant, high-effort work of masking autistic traits to fit into a typical social environment. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine you had to run a really complex piece of social software in the background of your brain all day, every day. It's not about being fake, it's a survival strategy, and it burns an unbelievable amount of energy.
And this is what it actually looks like in the office. This isn't just a theory. It's forcing small talk by the coffee machine when it feels totally unnatural. It's carefully watching and mimicking how a colleague gestures during a meeting. It's constantly fighting the urge to fidget. Every single one of these things, which might seem totally effortless to other people, is a deliberate and, frankly, exhausting task.
Okay, so you might be thinking, I get the personal cost, that sounds incredibly tough, but why does this matter to me as a manager? What's the business impact? Well, it turns out the consequences are huge, and they hit your bottom line directly.
The reality is that immense energy drain from constantly camouflaging, it's just not sustainable. It always leads to negative outcomes, and not just for the employee, but for your entire organization.
The first big one, severe burnout. And listen, we are not talking about the stress from a heavy workload. This is a much deeper, more profound kind of exhaustion. It's the kind that comes from the constant pressure of having to be someone you're not. And that, of course, leads to a nosedive in productivity, creativity, and engagement.
So what happens when a really talented employee burns out? You guessed it, they leave. They'll go look for a place where they don't have to spend half their energy just trying to fit in. And for you, that means losing great people and dealing with the massive cost of recruiting and training their replacements.
But honestly, the biggest loss of all is this. When you create an environment where everyone has to conform, you lose the very thing that makes neurodivergent talent so valuable in the first place. Their unique perspective, their different way of seeing problems, their innovative ideas. It's like you're paying for a Ferrari, but only letting it drive in first gear.
So that's the problem. What's the path forward? Well, the good news is that this is not some unsolvable issue. Actually, it's a huge opportunity. An opportunity to create a better, more effective workplace that unlocks the full potential of every single person on your team.
And this right here, this is the most important shift in thinking you can make. The goal is not to get the employee to fit in better. The goal and the responsibility is for leadership to create an environment where they don't have to. The focus has to be on improving the system, not on fixing the person.
So how do you build what we're calling a mask-off culture? It starts with a few key things. One, be super clear in your communication. Be direct.
Leave no room for guessing games. 2. Actively value different ways of thinking. Don't just tolerate them, celebrate and reward them. 3. Judge people on the quality of their work, not on how well they make small talk. Focus on output, not social performance. And finally, number 4, all of this is built on a foundation of psychological safety, a culture where everyone feels genuinely safe to be themselves.
And that's the ultimate payoff, right? When you create this kind of environment, you're not just cutting down on burnout and turnover, you are unleashing creativity, you're sparking innovation, and you're building incredible loyalty. You're letting people take all that energy they were burning just to camouflage and pour it directly into their work.
So I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. Take a hard look at your company's culture, your processes, your unwritten social rules. Is your workplace a stage where everyone feels like they have to put on a performance? Or is it a studio where they feel safe enough to take off the mask and create their absolute best work? The answer to that question could be the key to unlocking a whole new level of potential for your team.